Does that mean it's
Yeah.
5?
Mhm.
You got it.
It is. We'll call the meeting to order then. And I would say, judging by the members that are present, we have a quorum. And now we need to approve the minutes of December 2nd, 2024. Can you believe that's almost coming to an end?
Yeah. Made one change based on something that Wendy found today. Page 2. A little bit more than halfway down. Kay West replied that she would think that it's his property and he can draw a right of way. In the future, if it's contested, let the abutters bring suit, not the orders.
Changing that to a butters.
Yep.
Everything else is good to me.
I'm sorry.
I didn't notice any other problems.
But the only one that I picked up on that I don't know is right or wrong is on page 4. And it may be right. Under number 6, other business. Second bullet, first paragraph. Where Todd Condon stated that Sunset Acres originally 11 lots, now it's more, so it's already oversubscribed, is that correct?
That's the word he used.
That is the word he used?
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't know if that was, but that's fine. Other than that, I didn't see anything else.
I move, we accept the minutes of December 2nd as amended. Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. All right. Old business, no land use ordinance, development review ordinance, David and Joan Losi, map 31, lot 5E, application MD 01-24 to subdivide the lot into 3 parcels. According to our minutes, we were looking for finalization of the findings of fact.
The first paragraph. Parts of lot 3 are shoreland.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. Well, it's got a little T that goes down to the bottom of the easement. No, that's all the easement. Okay, yeah, I stand corrected.
The correct that
Yeah,
to say.
so it's also lot 3. As. Part of it. Wondering if, maybe we should flesh out December 2nd a little more. Yes, the minutes weren't available at that time. But, 3-lot preliminary site plan was presented.
Where are we at?
December 2nd.
Okay.
I don't know.
What was that last thing you said though?
A 3-lot preliminary site plan was presented.
Yeah,
The applicant.
yeah, that's what you were just looking at, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So doesn't.
Oh, so should that be part of December second?
Yeah.
Right.
And if anyone sees anything else that should be included.
Yeah, I don't believe there was any new information.
No.
Sensitive.
Do we have a, application that's, do we need a current application?
No. We just, it was amended to, for this,
Okay.
and the original application was for a free
The
lot.
original was,
Yeah, just went back to it.
Right. And then I had one thing on the last page, under financial and technical capacity, A, there was no evidence actually provided in that discussion. There was a discussion about construction guarantee for roads, but then,
right, I remember the discussion, we said we couldn't mandate anything.
Yes,
'cause it
we
was-
can.
We can?
Yeah, we can mandate a guarantee for anything within a subdivision.
but that doesn't provide evidence for saying that standards have been met.
I think that, when we were saying we couldn't mandate, we were talking about, requiring,
Escrow.
the escrow, that we couldn't
Performance
mandate
guarantee.
that,
Yes,
because
we
it's a
can.
private road.
No, any subdivision, we can do it.
Show me.
Show you. On the book?
Yeah,
Yes, I think it's page 45-76. Number 45-116, all required improvements to be guaranteed.
say again, the number?
45-116.
Getting there.
I guess we should have, 115 in there too.
Yes, I have that as a condition.
You do.
But, whether or not it's relevant to this,
It doesn't seem to be relevant to that question.
right? It's just gonna be a condition.
Okay.
Well,
It'll be a
115.
condition, the performance guarantee for the road.
Do we have a number in the mind, or is there, or
Well,
what
that's
do we
the
do
issue.
there?
That's an issue.
We make it a condition that he, builds the turnaround.
We've already made the condition that he puts it on the paper, on the
Yeah.
map, and that's on the map.
Yeah. And it's also having the road in adequate condition at least for the road, construction of new homes.
So have a condition be that the road be maintained by the applicant.
By the applicant or by
Yeah,
the
no, he's
purchaser?
selling it.
The purchaser.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Be by the applicant.
I'm sorry?
Leave it up to whoever buys it.
yeah. But I think initially we should have a performance guarantee that the road is in adequate shape for construction.
It looked pretty adequate up to that point where it touches 2 and 3.
So if either of those, so you think that they're adequate for those two?
But who knows what they'll be like in the spring.
Yeah.
I know somebody that knows how they'll be like in the spring.
Yeah. I do too.
I shouldn't raise my hand now, right?
I'm sorry?
I said I shouldn't raise my hand right now, right?
Were
No,
you volunteering to be that person that knows what it's gonna be like?
I'm just gonna have a comment on the condition of the roads, but you know what I think.
I do know what you think.
Well, maybe at least in terms of this financial and technical capacity, we should say, I don't know. What's the word, financial and technical? We have no idea.
We can request it, but. Can we make a condition that while he owns it, he needs to maintain
Mhm. Mhm. But we're not at that point yet, so.
Okay, you make that a condition, how do you enforce it?
If, I believe if we go back into this, we can go back and if there's if any of the conditions have not been met, we can pursue the permit.
I think I saw something.
Yeah. So in terms of this relevant one,
I'm trying to remember what the attorney exactly said about requirements for the road, because I mean, when building is going on there, there's gonna be a lot of big machines down there.
When-
Doing damage
when-
to the
when
road.
and if.
if.
Yeah.
Big word.
I think that goes back to having to have a road association,
Right.
and the town can't ask for money in escrow.
No. Not for a private road.
And you can't compel private landowners to create a road association.
Right.
Right,
All right, Todd, I'm gonna open for you right now.
Just a short comment exactly about that. Whether there's a road association or not, it will put a lot of expense on the current road.
Right.
I mean, someone will pay it, either everybody or me and Josh and Tom Dexter or whatever. But it's a big expense.
Yeah, well, we're not worried about it then.
It's a big expense to have somebody who does not benefit at all from the subdivision.
Yeah, it is, but it's not, we can't require you guys to.
I think even as a homeowner, not a homeowner, road owner association, and we're just talking Trim Lane, there are people on Trim Lane who own the road, correct?
Yes,
Mr. Losi.
Not just Mr. Losi.
yeah, Tom Dexter and Todd Condon own this part of it right here.
Right,
Right.
and as
And Cameron
owners,
Masters owns that part of it, right?
we've been trying to get some sort of a road association, not only for Trim Lane, but also for Marshall Fellow Road.
It's outside.
We've been trying to recommend, and somebody doesn't want to do that. My theory is on this, is that if owners of the road would send out a bill to people who travel the road, whether they'll pay it or not, I don't know, but send out a bill. Hey, you use the road too, can you kick in X number of dollars for keeping it up, upkeep? You don't even have to do the work, I'll do the work, or we'll,
It's a
whatever.
big load to put on, people of the subdivision, so that David Losi can sell his land in a different way. He could do this one lot at a time, take him 15 years. Land is a great
He could.
investment.
He chose to do it this way.
Well.
Mhm.
it's shaky.
And he could,
So-
and quite honestly, sir, he could sit on it for the next 10 years and nothing happened.
I agree, but And I know, so I'm not really here to, say that that is my major concern. My major concern is what I think is legal trickery of adding the place that doesn't have.
Yeah, we've been over that several times, and I know that that's on record, and. Okay, so. We still are,
Well, how about if we change, A to say, that the plan is to sell these lots, at which time you have financial capacity. And that the individual owners unfortunately will have the technical expertise to get into their lots. That this is, I don't know how to say that. I mean, he's gonna be selling the lots, so he'll be doing finances.
yeah, and if somebody buys a lot and wants to put a house in, they gotta go through the process. They gotta figure out where they're gonna put a driveway. They've got, I mean, granted, there's been a test pit, but they still have to have something done, don't they, for design,
Yeah, they'll have to have a site evaluated when and actually design a system.
right?
And they'll have to put money in escrow for the driveway, for the road,
For the
right?
road.
How could we do that?
For the person that bought the
Yeah,
lot,
yeah,
that's planning to build.
yeah,
And that's
I guess
outside
we
our
can't,
purview.
because it's private.
Yeah, no, we can only do the escrow on the town road.
Right.
We can only do the performance guarantee currently with this applicant. But once the individual lots are sold, we no longer can do that.
So we're just looking to make sure that he does put in the turnaround at the end.
Or, I mean, I've never driven that road.
we've, at one point, the board decided that just having it drawn on the map is good enough.
Right,
Right,
right.
Mhm.
That's
So
what,
are we changing our mind on that now?
I'm not.
not me.
Mhm.
And it is on this map.
Sorry?
It is on this map.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I looked at the one we've been looking at and compared it to that, and to the best of my knowledge, nothing has changed.
Well, the only other thing would be want to at least clear it and for a grass turnaround.
In the area where I had asked for it to be put, because of going up in there on the site review, person could do that.
Yeah. So
I don't
we
know how solid it is for like a, you know, a fire truck getting in there, whether it's sink out of sight or what, I don't know. But that wasn't the requirement. The requirement was that they put it on paper.
Mhm. Well, it's for safety issues, whether or not we want to have an adequate turnaround for the trucks. We haven't had Mert. I've asked him to go down.
I have.
Oh, you have?
I have, and other than some trimming of trees along the way, of branches that stick out, you need a 12-foot by 12-foot opening to get through.
And that's all he mentioned?
Yeah,
Well, then we could ask a performance guarantee to go in and clear it. The road, so it has adequate clearance at this time for, the fire trucks.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, because from what I saw, it won't take anybody very long with a pole saw to go through there and just,
Mhm.
CMP already did it.
did they?
It's already
All the way
done.
out there?
Already.
Okay.
Oh my God, it looks like,
Yeah.
it looks like a war zone there. There was that big thing with big.
I saw it, I went down,
That went down there?
Yeah,
I went down Marshall Cove today to look at a tree job, but I didn't go down Trim Lane.
yeah, it's all been done.
Yeah, we have a shared
It looks
drive.
horrible, but
No,
And
so,
they
no.
went down the shared
Yeah.
drive.
It'll come back.
it'll go
I
back.
mean, it's great.
CMP
but
do it?
I didn't think they would do it.
No,
right in the
Lucas did
driveway.
it for CMP.
Yeah.
But just under the wires.
Yeah, but they have, that's a big machine with a lot of,
Driveway, they'll go down.
Yeah, it has a long reach.
yeah, so they make sure they don't hit the wires.
Yeah.
They'll come out and do it.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
what you're telling me is pretty much that's already been taken care of.
Pretty much, yeah.
Does it so it just goes up to where your driveway turns in?
Well, see, I don't have the power lines up my road, so they didn't touch that, but it goes up around,
Oh,
up
to
down
Dexter's.
Dexter's this way.
Oh. I haven't been there, so it's up to you folks.
Terry,
What's been taken care of, Todd's words, is under the easement for the power lines.
Right.
And no place else.
yeah,
So they have done it on one side of the road,
but not the
and it
other.
alternates as the line runs, but that's it.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming, is exactly that. So
Well,
without looking at it, I wouldn't know if they still had that nice little 12 by 12 alleyway,
Could have it as a condition of that,
or just make it as a condition as upkeep, as,
Yeah.
you know. But they're gonna grow back.
Mhm.
Hey, we still haven't settled that question though, have we, or not? Because we have down there findings of fact, standards are met, and we all voted on it.
right.
Well, we can put in construction guarantee, just put up minimum. What is it we have now for our
5,000.
5,000? Just leave it there.
Or can we, ask that he maintain his portion of the road while he owns it? Or say the owner shall
Yeah.
maintain?
Yeah, I mean, you could make that a condition of,
Mhm. So maybe it should have been construction guarantee for Trim Lane.
Yeah, but Trim Lane, I think it only goes to where it goes by 2 and 3 lot, right? It doesn't go all the way down. That's a driveway.
Mhm.
That right there is a driveway.
Right.
Yeah.
So they only have to do it right to where that is.
Mhm.
So you don't need to make it a condition for all the way down that driveway.
But that's actually accessing 2 of the lots, so.
Oh, but is the turnaround down the driveway? Or is it-
Right.
It's right there at that area.
That area, okay.
And he owns most of the road anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, why don't we, on number A, we'll just say we'll have a condition, propose a condition for construction guarantee for the road, and we'll just base it on the amount we require per town, the town roads, 5,000.
Brian Evans.
Well,
I have it on silent, but
He gets special conditions.
yes, it's emergency.
well, the question on that, the applicant shall have adequate financial and technical capacity to meet the stated standards. How can we say that he has adequate final and technical capacity? He can dial a phone.
Did Babe ever go down there and do road work, Todd?
He did, but on his lot 1 here, he didn't do anything on Trim Lane. He just did this part from Trim Lane to his house.
Driveway.
Right,
Oh.
and when we were out there, he was talking about having Babe look at stuff when you were standing right there and you showed us your DIY fixes for the runoff,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually believe that you were doing a fine job with what you had to work with, and from my understanding, Babe didn't like that idea.
Of the way I was doing it.
Right,
But you know what? I saw him on the way out, and I was telling him how I was taking care of the road. And on the way up Marshall Cove Road, he did it for me with his machine in 3 places.
He's just trying to sell gravel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there, I think you were doing a fine job of getting the water off the road, and it didn't look like it was washing everything out, and
Yeah, I was out there in this last storm.
That day we were up there, my opinion, Trim Lane was in better shape than Marshall Cove Road.
I used to do it, but I can't do it anymore. I don't have the.
all right, we're chasing a rabbit again.
Sorry.
Well, the only thing he's paying for under here has already been done. He's done the test pits, he's done the survey. He's submitting the plan to us that will sign it, and it'll be submitted to the Waldo County Registry of Deeds. So I would think he's met.
Everything.
He's met them. He's paid for everything necessary for this application. I don't know what else, I don't know how we've answered it in the past, probably not applicable.
9 times out of 10, yes.
Yeah, it was that. One more time, Todd.
In light of all the concerns about the load on the road and all that, would it be possible to make a condition that each lot cannot be further subdivided by a regular Islesboro subdivision?
Getting outside our A here.
No.
Because it would certainly help everybody in the neighborhood.
It doesn't, we don't have the power to do that.
I realize that,
What do you bring it up for?
but there are all other kinds of
Just in
conditions.
case.
I mean, there could be a condition that Pelosi secures the right of way to that part of lot 3 before he further subdivides that lot. How's that?
That's a good
That's a
idea.
given.
Yeah,
Is it?
What's a
Yeah.
given?
yeah.
That he has to secure a right of way before he can divide.
Yeah, that's
Or show access.
but that's a bridge that gets crossed at that point.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
He has to put another application in.
Well, he wouldn't, just if it were in 5 years, and he's just lopping one piece off.
Then what?
If in 5 years, you can just make a subdivision of one, you like sell a lot off, right? That's,
Yeah, I see what you're getting at. What Todd's saying is, if 5 years down the road, if none of this sells, assuming none of it sells, 5 years down the road, if he wanted to, without coming to the planning board, he could split lot 3 into 2 lots again.
But
Would he,
But-
would he still, is that
But you would
true?
still have to prove some type of, you can't,
but he wouldn't have to do it through here.
Is that through the CEO or is that just?
no, that would be go through, that would be lawyers and
Uh-huh.
deeds and all that stuff, so.
So we can't.
and I.
Title searches.
Down the road, if someone came to us with another subdivision down there where dwelling units have actually been built,
Or being built.
we would have grounds to say, the road can't handle it.
Mhm. But not grounds to say you don't have right of way there.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about the whole thing
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah. Mhm. I understand what you're saying.
So will A just say not applicable? I don't know, we redo this one, because we have an errors going, that was just what is the proper criteria, criterial?
Criterion.
Criterion. It's not a criterion, it's a bike race. Criterion, just needs to be modified.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you wanna just revote the motion, say not applicable?
Well, one of the things we're supposed to do, we've already done a lot of discussion.
You voted on it.
We voted yes and no on, or whatever we did voted on. The idea tonight was to look at it to make sure that those answers are what we were saying we were doing. And vote to either approve or approve with
Mhm,
amendments or
mhm,
what have you,
mhm,
or start over.
mhm. It's just we got some typos in here, but, so we can't
Okay.
sign it tonight, but, well, do you wanna just stick with
We've done that
construction
before,
guarantee
we've done that
for roads.
before. Come in
Just
and
stick with construction guarantee for roads.
Well, I like what you said about how he's paid for all of the other standards so far.
Right,
Mhm. Mhm.
and to that end, standards have been met.
Mhm. Mhm.
So just eliminate construction guarantee for roads, correct?
Mhm. And just change that evidence provided, test pits, all the,
No, that's up there.
All expenses, all related expenses have been paid up to the state
mhm.
per stamp and
Oops, evidence provided, plans, completed plans submitted showing all site work, setbacks, property lines. And you have a brilliant way to rewrite that.
First up, anywhere it says criterion, that gets changed, correct?
correct
Criteria.
criterion.
Criterion. Not applicable.
So I'm looking at,
There's a lot of them.
yeah. But,
So
let's,
what is it? Criteria.
Criterion is a singular. The origin from it, yeah.
what are you laughing about?
Nothing.
I got 9. Anybody check my math?
Trustee.
Don't. I am fallible.
Can I just ask a point of clarification? I've got my ears in tonight, but I'm still having trouble hearing. When you guys are discussing a road, what on that plan are you talking about?
The driveway.
I believe we're talking about Trim Lane.
The curving piece of trim lane across lot one is a road? Because I've never heard it was accepted as a road.
Okay,
Roads
It's all
and
up
right
to
of
Todd.
ways are interchangeable in our ordinance.
I'm sorry?
Roads and right of way is interchangeable in the ordinance. If you look in, we have a definition for private road, public road, I think, not right of way, but right of way is used. I think it's a legal term. And it's used in the ordinance.
So a 12-foot right of way, which one could have, is equivalent to a 50-foot wide road?
No, they're two different things. There would be a 50-foot right of way,
Yeah,
which is the land, amount of land we're proposing that he set aside for a road.
yeah.
But the road, the travel way, the road is defined as a travel way, would be within it.
Yeah.
So it's, what is it? Generally, it's a 25-foot
Alright,
I have 9 also.
okay.
travel
But
way.
does a right of way have to be engineered in terms of
No, it
drainage and
just has to
slope
be
and
on the
everything else?
plan. It's just on the plan. The road is engineered. They're two different things.
But you're saying they're also equivalent? A road and a right of way are the same thing, you said.
I may have not defined it correctly. Right of way.
Yeah.
A road is a travel way within the right of way. If you have a right of way on your plan. But if, at some point, you can look at the ordinance under the road section and you'll see where
Okay.
it's differentiated.
I have looked at all of that, but I still have questions.
Okay,
Well, my computer found 9 as well.
I'm sorry?
My computer found 9 as well. I did
Okay,
search and replace, they're all fixed now.
I'm sure they are. And have we dealt with the financial and technical capacity?
Yeah, can we say that where no dwellings are being proposed, that this is not applicable? Cause he won't be
And
having the heavy machinery.
there's no
going
storm,
in.
there's no, water, good point, no public water. Yeah, I would think that would make sense.
You just have to
As-
have a
as-
new vote on that.
Yeah,
As evidence, correct?
yeah. So what was that again?
No dwellings are being proposed at this time.
I guess we just, I don't know the process, do we just unwind the previous motion? Or amend the motion? No.
I think we'd have to move on this one.
Move to amend,
Move to amend this one particular one.
probably would be the best way.
Mhm.
Does that sound okay with everyone?
Yeah,
Perfect. I move the word amends, 45-21A to evidence provided no, dwelling units are proposed, so the findings would be not applicable.
Anybody got a second?
Second,
Discussion. None being heard, all in favor say aye. Any opposed, say nay. Okay, now. Any further discussion on what we're doing, or do we move into approval of the criteria of approval for as amended?
Moving to accept it as amended.
And should we include findings of fact too, it's just a summary of our meetings,
Yeah.
a summary of findings, approval, the findings of fact. And,
I move we accept the entire findings of fact as amended.
second.
Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Now I believe we're at the point where everybody is looking to find out what's going on, if we whether approve this application. And I want to say that, As I said before, I'm fallible. Don't trust me. I make mistakes. So I'll move that application MD 01-24 be approved.
Second.
How about with conditions or wait and
Okay,
the following conditions?
okay. We have to specify what those following conditions are, since you brought that up. You make the,
Mhm. Okay, I'll propose them and then we can discuss, or do you want to, go through the conditions, approve, disapprove? And then finally.
let's do that. Let's figure out the conditions that you're thinking about, or anybody wants to think about, anybody.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I have to review them.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
All right, first condition, the subdivision shall provide a road meeting town ordinance requirements, including land reserved for future widening of subdivision road, which consists of a 50-foot right-of-way, which is the statute 45-81D.
Okay. Is that not done on that plan?
Yeah,
All right then, we don't need to do that.
already been done.
All right then, it's done. The traveled subdivision road within the 50-foot right-of-way must be sufficient for emergency vehicles based on the standards of 45-82-H.
Say it again,
We
please.
did that too by putting the turnaround in.
But that doesn't mean the whole road. The traveled subdivision road within the 50-foot right-of-way must be sufficient for emergency vehicles based on the standards. So,
That would be the trimming.
That would be the 12-foot by 12-foot
yeah,
opening that Mert wants, right?
I think so.
And
Any major ruts or,
I could just elucidate a little tiny thing.
so,
I'm sorry?
I could tell you, one bit that would need,
No.
improvement if you
you
want.
don't need details at this
Okay.
point.
I mean, but there is one where Gil would get stuck
All right,
Where
so,
Gil would get stuck?
if he was driving an emergency
Bill.
vehicle.
well,
he might be sitting on these for a while, so I think
I think
we should make that a condition.
Upkeep of,
the traveled subdivision road within the 50-foot right of way, it's basically the 25 feet or whatever the road width is, must be sufficient for emergency vehicles.
okay,
I mean, there aren't any dwellings planned down there at this time.
no, but there are dwellings down there currently. There are some dwellings down there,
And
There,
it's gonna be maintained
not in those lots,
until,
that, not
Yeah.
in,
that's what I mean, in those lots, so,
in lot one, I think, isn't it one that has,
That's where the Losey's house is.
yeah.
that's got a dwelling?
Yeah.
And Trim Lane takes care of that.
No, I would think that keeping it clear for, and travelable for emergency vehicles would be a good thing.
Even down the private driveway where there are no,
no, it wouldn't be, no, not that private driveway.
so we're just talking about the trim lane piece where there are.
If you're talking about Condon's, driveway or, Dexter's driveway, no, but I think that he has to keep it clear up to those areas.
Yeah, the subdivision road is trim lane.
But technically, goes beyond that. Trim Lane goes up here to my house, but
Right.
this part here is still part of I think the part that you walked, remember?
Well, I
So,
walked your driveway too, but that area that you just pointed at,
That's the part that's not part of Trim Lane, but is access to two lots.
That's the proposed part.
And that's where Dexter's driveway goes.
That's Texas
Right.
driveway now, yeah.
right, or part of it, his driveway.
You go straight down there, yeah.
Yeah,
but so we're saying that Losi must bear the expense of maintaining that road, even though others use it?
Yep.
And that's
Within
fair.
the subdivision, it's his property. Yes, yes. Until he sells those lots and then it's a free for all.
Again,
Unfortunately, yeah, you can't require it. I mean,
It doesn't
No
seem-
sense. It doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't seem fair when others are using that road that he bear that responsibility. All of it. Is-
I don't know. I mean, this is where our, do we make that decision or not?
Sensors out.
At least for emergency vehicles.
Well,
The attorney had said, my second one was, prior to sale of a lot, the roadway upon which a lot front shall be sufficient for construction access and then completed to the relevant road standard. So, and that was the attorney speaking. Our ordinance speaks to emergency vehicles. So how much are we going to waive from what our ordinance requires?
I'm not
I
suggesting
think we should,
add,
yeah, we
but-
should vote to waive them. If we say no. We vote to waive.
I think he should be responsible for that and be in his interest if he's trying to sell the lot, to keep it maintained.
Yeah.
I guess the bottom line is, so do our ordinances require it? If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't.
It does for, I think we're just saying for emergency vehicles. That's what our ordinance says, right?
Yeah, I think you're just talking about making sure that that part of Trim Lane is maintained well enough to get an emergency vehicle down through there.
Yeah.
Which means no branches within the 12 foot by 12 foot.
yeah, again,
Terry?
I have two very major concerns about this discussion of Trim Lane and Trim Lane being a road. Number one is Todd just said that the 25-foot right of way that is now totally within Kara Seekman's property is an extension of Trim Lane. And you guys are talking about Trim Lane being a road. So what he's saying, and I think the board is thinking, that 25-foot right of way is also a road. And if that is a road, hell's gonna freeze over before Kara gives anybody permission to widen it or change it or anything else, because it's her land.
Where is?
And the other
Trim Lane
concern,
on
the other
her
concern I have that is almost more
property? Where is
important
it on her
is
property?
if Trim Lane
Oh,
is in
oh,
fact a road, then roads are privately owned, separately owned.
Is it? Oh, is
Somebody
that the
owns the
driveway?
land
Has that
under
always been
Trim
referred
Lane.
to as Trim
And if
Lane?
Trim Lane is a road,
Up to there.
then
This is
I can't
part of.
point at it
Hang on,
because
Terry's
it's odd, but
talking,
that
please.
half circle piece of land is a separate lot. Because it is separated by a road from Losey's other land. So that you then have now not a 3-lot or a 4-lot subdivision, you have a 5-lot subdivision with a whole other list of problems.
Okay.
I'm just pointing out rabbit holes.
Okay. Thank you. Going back to your condition. Have you ironed this out yet? Have we ironed this out yet?
I think we can say for emergency vehicles.
Okay.
we've already done that, haven't we?
I'm a little lost about where we are. Are we making a motion on this condition?
Oh, I don't know. I
I
think
thought we were trying to approve it instead of, why are we going through this? hash
because
all this over
because
with
the
again?
comment was made, do you approve as is with changes or
Condition.
with conditions? And
Yeah, this
that-
is, yeah. Trying to put them in.
I guess there's already a motion out there because I made it. Which I guess I need to
I'm assuming this is the discussion part.
Yeah, but there was a motion made, correct?
Yeah.
Right, and I seconded it.
Oh, to approve it.
Right.
Are there more conditions?
Yeah.
Well,
When I
I'll
was,
just talk to him quickly.
I think everybody has a copy of
Conditions,
the,
and he bent over backwards to change all this print and everything.
I'm well aware, he's done everything he's been asked to do, I'm well aware of that.
I don't know how many times.
all right, well, we're just going, are we waiving what the ordinance states? We should at least state that.
You don't have authority to waive the ordinance.
You gotta speak when you're, raise your hand,
Now who's going on?
Yeah.
your buddy.
Yeah, 45-81 list waivers. All right, so, I'm sorry, but we want to just approve, are we gonna require at least emergency vehicle?
Yeah, I
standards?
Yeah.
I can't talk, right?
I would say.
I heard
You can put it in there and put it to a vote.
Okay, I move that, we include as a condition that the travel subdivision road within the 50-foot right of way must be sufficient for emergency vehicles based on the standards of 45-82-8.
are there any more conditions?
Wait,
Yeah, I have a couple more.
wait. Carrie's got something.
I have a question. Can you actually make a motion when we're still in the
While we're
middle?
still doing a motion, right?
Oh, are we on?
We have not resolved the first motion yet.
Which one was that?
To
To
approve.
approve. With,
Did we say approve?
Oh, the
conditions
permit,
or
oh, the
without
permit.
conditions?
no, this is, we've already approved with condition, with amendments. The findings of fact, that's already been done, that's off the table.
Right.
What's on the table right now is the motion to approve the
Application.
application. Then you threw in question about with conditions. And we were discussing the conditions.
Yeah. Well, we can list them and then approve them under your motion. You want to do that?
Or do I just back out of the
However you want to do it.
motion?
This is the discussion part of your
Yeah.
motion, so you can withdraw it and change it however you
Is that
want
the
to.
word withdraw?
Yeah.
Or you can amend your motion.
Or I can amend it with whatever conditions come up, right?
Yeah. So do you want to just finish talking about all the conditions that,
Okay, so,
So, okay, emergency vehicles.
and, we'll skip the whole thing about whether it should be fixed after construction. That's their tough luck.
Wish you wouldn't word it like that.
Oh, so I did have one about the deeds, but he's got it on the plan about access.
Yeah.
Oh, condition recommend the establishment of a subdivision road association to ensure adequate maintenance of the roadway serving the subdivision.
I think we've made that recommendation
And it's-
over and over and
I
over.
know,
again.
it's just a condition, just to reinforce. If you don't want to recommend it, then we don't.
So we can make a condition that of a recommendation?
Yeah.
But would that mean,
That's not really a condition.
yeah, I'm serious, yeah. I don't think that is a condition.
All right, skip it. Condition, the applicant shall provide a construction guarantee for the subdivision road.
No. We just went through that, findings of fact.
And we haven't put anything down for the amount.
No,
We think it's just the 5,000 that we require for, the
I
town.
think that's outside our purview. I really do.
and that escrow is only for when someone's building something.
Yeah.
If they had a road association, the road association could say, anybody that's putting in anything out here, any construction going on, they need to put in a escrow for X number of dollars for,
Well, excuse me, but our ordinance states all required improvements to be guaranteed. Performance guarantee shall be tendered for all improvement required by Article 19 of this chapter, as well as any other improvements required by the board. So Article 19, X1, XIX. As required improvements, it's fire ponds, hydrants, water supply, sewage, disposal lines, surface drainage.
That chapter 45.
and I could understand all that if we were putting in 100 houses.
I just give it a waive it, you don't have to waive it, vote to waive that performance guarantee. Because that's the other issue, so we're gonna have fire, require a fire hydrant, but people, that's another performance guarantee.
I think we can waive that.
So we should vote on that and vote on this.
Then I'm gonna withdraw my proposal, on my, motion.
And there's just one third one, which definitely we have to have included on the plan. As all roads in the subdivision will be private, the following language will be included on the plan. All roads in this development shall remain private roads to be maintained by the developer or the lot owners and shall not be accepted or maintained by the town. And that is a requirement of the ordinance.
And that would be on that plan?
Yes, on that plan. And that is 45-115, if you wanna look up the reference.
That would be two conditions. And one condition that we're waived.
Leaving the fire dry hydrant and the, what was the other one? Oh, construction guarantee.
And where is it, what is that in the book? 45 dash.
The fire pond is in one that, X1IX. Page 45-71.
Is there a?
It's 45-101.
So he's looking to subdivide. Does that make him a developer?
No,
Not in my eyes.
Developers building, not subdividing.
So-
Developer could subdivide,
all right, so we're.
I guess.
I don't think we have a definition of developer. So as long as we're clear, this is gonna go to the boards of appeal. So just,
No, I understand. I'm just saying, I mean, if,
Well, then let's approve it, let them settle it. To keep going.
all
with
right,
this.
developer, any person contemplating a project or applying for approval of a project or subdivision under the provisions of this chapter. As used in this chapter, developer includes applicant, subdivider, contractor, owner, agent, and representative. We actually have a definition of something.
Okay, that answered my question.
Do you know, the applicant shall provide construction guarantees? Do you know the number of that in here?
It was just that 45 dash. It was just lumped under that. Oh, 45-116, all required improvements to be guaranteed.
Okay, so right now we're asking for the 12-foot space for a fire truck to be maintained. That's trimming trees. So how much do we want to require? As a performance guarantee, how much do we want to require for that, right? Or is there am I missing anything else? Is that it right now?
The performance guarantee, I think so.
So is that
If we're waiving.
Do we have a
the
minimum?
The town does
Hey, Terry?
5,000, but
Yeah,
I
I know.
think
silent?
they're talking about right now, just waiving that. Waiving the performance.
No, I understand, but if we were to require one, is there a minimum?
I don't think there is. no.
No, I mean, we have
I will
the
do that.
5,000
Yeah.
currently
No more
fixing
calls,
up a
please.
road after construction.
Yeah.
But that just means we sit on it until the roads can be inspected to find out if they've done any damage.
Mhm.
And if they haven't, they get the 5,000 back.
Well, once he sells it, then he can get his money back, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Shall I move that the board waive conditions required in the DRO 45-101 and 45-116?
Mhm. Unless you want to require, so give up on the road guarantee. Okay. So the construction guarantee.
I have to excuse myself. My sensor keeps going off, so I gotta go home and fix it.
Okay, be well.
Oh, I'm well.
Oh, so we need to
I'll make
make
it there. Take it easy.
Think having a performance guarantee or construction guarantee, at least a minimum 5,000, will pay for a quick fix of the road.
Okay, and where do we hold this? Where does it go? What do we do with
Oh,
it?
the
huh?
town must have a little,
Well, we have one for the public road thing.
well, we must have it for subdivisions. Yeah, we have
Probably
to.
not.
Yeah,
Only if
we
it's ever
do.
been
It's
used before.
required in our ordinance. They'll set up an account.
Yeah, they'll have to set up an account
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. It's a town requirement.
They'll write a check to the town of Bosborough for $5,000 as a road escrow deposit or
It
whatever.
stays there
It
until,
stays there until he sells it or,
And then we release a guarantee.
okay, fine. I'm sure Brian can handle that, right?
I don't think it's necessary myself, but.
Yeah.
We should vote on it.
So did you actually make that motion about waiving conditions?
Not yet, I don't think so. I haven't quite heard, there was a question of how do I do this, more of a question of,
I make that motion
okay. And your motion was to
to waive
45-101 and 45-116.
which, is the construction guarantee. And what's the other one?
The fire hydrant,
The fire hydrants and fire pond.
yeah, 45-101.
I guess I'm waiting on a second, right?
Oh, sorry, second.
So we're waiving it, is that what you said? We're waiving it.
That's the
Well, we
motion.
haven't voted on
No,
it.
no,
No, but that was the motion, is to waive those two.
It's been seconded.
Mhm.
Now, we got 4 voting members right now. Do I need to appoint?
Okay, you can.
Then are you willing to join in with us? You've been listening to everything.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that I can really vote intelligently. But I'll do what I can.
Okay, I hope you can vote intelligently. I hope all of us can vote intelligently, so. That being said, we put her down as being able to vote.
Okay.
Or should I just say in the event of a tie, she gets to decide?
No.
I just make it a vote. Don't put that much pressure on
It
it.
does also say in here what happens if there's which way it goes, but
Really?
yeah.
Okay, I'd have to find that one.
Arm wrestle.
Rock, paper, scissors.
All right, discussion. That was discussed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Not hearing any nays. Okay, so that's out.
What's the point?
We still have,
Oh, yeah, we just wanted to add that one about emergency vehicles as a condition.
no, there was 2,
And the private roads,
the verbiage on the map,
yeah.
which those maps will have to be changed. Where did Dave, he disappeared on me.
He'll be back.
I know
Yeah.
he'll be back.
You'll just have to take on
And that verbiage was,
all roads in this development shall remain private roads to be maintained by the developer or the lot owners and shall not be accepted or maintained by the town.
and that was the town covering its butt probably, right?
Mhm, yeah.
And that
So Carrie,
was
it's 45-115.
45-115.
You'll find the language. Okay. So that's condition number 1.
And then there was maintaining the roads for emergency vehicles.
Right, according to standards of 45-82-H.
Okay,
Well, that
Okay.
wasn't what I was, okay.
what current owner will,
Mhm. The applicant, yeah.
so figure out how to make that into a motion. As a condition. We just say it as a condition when we say approval. Yeah, that's what we do, right? We say approve the condition
Oh,
of
right.
emergency vehicles and verbiage on the plan 45-115.
Private road,
And what was the emergency vehicles?
45-82-H.
82H,
Yeah,
What's the other one?
45-115.
I move the board. I can say here, approve application MD 01-24 with conditions pertaining to chapter 45-82-H and 45- 115 in the development review ordinance. Does that make sense?
That does make sense to me.
Perfect. Second,
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Now, this permit has to be signed by all voting members.
Yep, everyone that voted on
And
it.
the same voting members have to sign the,
Finding of facts,
excuse me,
the finding of facts.
okay, and when that's been amended.
I've submitted comments.
We're not there yet. But you will be called on.
I have a question.
But
I have a question about the, so Gil Rivera was one of the members who approved the findings of fact, so should we have him sign that? And have Ann sign the permit?
yeah, I think we have to, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, he can't sign off on what we just did.
Right, but he can sign on the findings of fact.
Right. Okay. We'll get to CEO report, we don't have one. We'll get to people wishing to address the planning board, and I heard,
There are some comments on
That
the
was
chat,
Tara.
okay, that's what I thought I heard.
but there
I
are some
didn't see her
other,
name.
there are some other comments first before Cara's. Shall I read them? That would be helpful. Robin Kiers to everyone. Thank you for your extensive efforts to sort out the town's ordinance with regard to developments on private roads. I also would like to add this discussion reflects the flaws in the ordinance when it comes to managing developments on private roads. The planning board will face these challenges again and again unless the town writes ordinances that address private road owners' rights when a proposed development by a neighbor is in process. Tracy Lindelof says, it seems like this is a time to have the town attorney's expertise to guide all in the legal facts. Cara to everyone, burden of proof lies upon the applicant, not upon the planning board. The proof of ownership has not been proved on two sides of my rectangle of land. The 25-foot right-of-way along my back southern boundary is on my land. It gives access to lot 11 only. The town ordinances cannot be less robust than the state of Maine statutes. The planning board cannot waive the rights of existing Sunset Acres subdivision owners. And the burden of proof of my land and the unresolved Sunset Acres trim lien is upon the applicant. He has not provided proof, deed and survey of shared right-of-ways and roads. The sitting members of the planning board have vastly different views than the existing Sunset Acres subdivision owners. How do Sunset Acres owners weigh in? Cara continues, Marshall Cove Road, previously Camp Road, and Trim Lane are shared assets of all owners of the original Sunset Acres subdivision, which is still in existence and is still the same as the original plan in the Waldo County drawers and on Islesboro tax maps. That's it.
thank you, Karen.
You're welcome. Those comments are on the record.
Okay. I got a correspondence from Tom Dexter. Have everybody seen that? And that's on record as well.
Mhm.
Terry, we moved on from that what?
I know, I just want to make a comment, general comment.
Yeah, I know, but we moved on from people addressing the planning board, but go ahead.
I just want to ask, when it became planning board policy that an applicant can submit a plan or information on the day of the hearing, when it seems to me the plan and the enforcement of the boards is that you have to have everything on the, in this instance, the Monday before.
All
So
right.
I don't understand why this application, this plan was accepted for
It's
today.
something that we had asked for this meeting.
I'm sorry?
It's something that we had asked for, and also it's a moot point right now because he has to amend that. We're not even gonna sign that plan.
Okay, well, you have to have the plan in a week before the next hearing?
He's gonna have it in so we can sign it, and it's gonna have that verbiage on it. When that verbiage comes in, it's just like when Carrie types up a plan or types up a permit, she'll send out a text saying it's ready to be signed. When that plan comes in with the right verbiage on it, and the updated verbiage on it, there'll be a text go out, says everything's ready to sign, or however it goes.
For future applicants, can you tell me what the planning board policy is on submitting information before a hearing?
Before a hearing or before,
A new application has to be in 7 days prior to a meeting.
right,
Okay,
This was not a new application.
okay,
That is an enlarged copy of the same thing that was presented at the last planning board meeting.
mhm,
So there was nothing new. They asked him to see it, he provided it. Now, someone like Todd or you or anybody else comes into the meeting and says, hey, I want to talk about this. That should be 7 days before a meeting, so the planning board has time to review what they want to talk about.
okay,
If it's an already in-process application and the board is asking the applicant for things, then they expect to get them.
without time to review it before the hearing.
You go, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak for you guys, but is that agreeable?
that's right, but
Okay.
you say without time to review it, I did review it, I sat in here and reviewed it. Compared it to what I've been already using and what I already had, and I found no differences, other than they took the color off of it because somebody says you can't have colored copies.
Okay,
Now, you're welcome to look at it and go over it and see if you can see that.
I have them.
Okay, committee reports. And additional business, I have none. So now we need a motion for adjournment,
I move we adjourn.
Second.
discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
See you next year.
Lord willing.
Thank you all for being so thorough.
Thank you.